Hey, it's Chris. I'm gonna pour a second pour on the one-piece mold. I thought I'd show you how I do it. But first, I'm gonna turn off the foot massaging bath thing that's vibrating my latex. Trying to get some air bubbles out of it. You always leave the lid on when you're on the vibrating foot bath with the latex, or else you're gonna have a big mess. But first, I want to talk about the paints. These are all started with a mix of house paint, distilled water, and latex mask, making latex. RDS 407 or whatever. But don't make ahead too many bottles of paint with latex and water, because I'm going on 3 years later and I still have, well, that one's gone, but I still have 2 full creamers of that one big batch I made. And, just even if you're painting 6-10 masks, I'm using this to make the other paints with add in the acrylic paint and then a little more latex and water just to change the color. But I'm not, just adding color without adding more latex and distilled water. But my advice is don't make too much paint ahead of time, because you just get, old paint sitting around, and you got to test it again before you use it and make sure it's still viable. Which I always do. I keep chunks of rubber laying around just to test the paints on, like this was a test. And it's a good grade. It stretches, I'm good. I threw the other one away that it was cracking when I stretch it. Pretty much you don't know what's going to happen over time unless you test it before you use it. Because I think things change. Maybe not. Maybe it's just mixed wrong from the beginning and it was an old bottle. But all these white ones were all the same to begin with, and then started morphing into black, brown, flesh, and gray, and all different kinds of colors. But okay, when I pour this mold, I clean out the old rubber off of the silicone brush and throw it away. You got to keep your bucket edges clean, the floor, the molds, and anything you set stuff on, and keep it up away from your cat. Because this rubber, it attracts them, and they eat this, and it'll plug their intestines. So, thousands of dollars. I haven't, but I've been warned that people pay thousands just because of a piece of plastic from a trash bag. The red handle tie from a trash bag cost my friends thousands of dollars and almost killed their cat. So, gotta watch what you leave laying around, and stuff that can spill and stuff that can be eaten after it hardens on the edges. This is the cleanest bucket of rubber I've ever had, because they get sick. I'm mortified. They're my kids. Enough about cats. So when I find a piece of rubber, I put it in the garbage. All right, I cleaned my brush. I got my spatula, and I use a milk crate or a bucket to put it in so it doesn't topple over. And I put some bubble wrap in there so it doesn't break a hole in the bottom. I was tapping the Frankenstein one time to get the bubbles out, and it busted a hole in the thin spot. So now I check the mold up against the light for thin spots, put the light inside, and check both directions for thin spots. Before you start messing with the mold and banging it around like normal use, you could be sorry. I ended up fixing the spot where the hair goes on the Frankenstein and saved it. But my Son of Frankenstein was almost gone. And, I put it in a bucket, thank God, because it broke and all the latex went into the bucket. And some of it was wasted, but some was used reclaimed. So here I am living dangerously without a bucket, because this is too big to go in a bucket. I mean, it would get in there, but then you'd be making it crack, forcing against the sides. And I just had to go with the milk crate on this one. Alright, I usually don't even bother with the glove, but today I am. So I'm tired of losing its skin. Okay, this is distilled water in a spray bottle. And I'm giving it a good spritz so that you don't get as many air bubbles, even around the outside. So less chance of bubbles in your pool. if you let it down. Keep the gasket clean. Sometimes you gotta yank it out and clean it and put it back in the lid. Keep all the liquid off of the lid and try to get rid of all the rubber off that's hardened too. But here's where I like to give it a thumbs. And then a stir, because all that air came to the top. Not all of it, but all of the air I'm seeing. So, and I scrape the edge. And sound equals air in your latex. So if you hear noises, probably that's air going in. Okay. Just sit that down in there off to the side. Give it a bunch of air. And I just put that back in. So the cat doesn't get it. Alright, here's where I just pick the whole thing up and start brushing in the detail. It's a big enough mold that I don't have to cut the handle off this brush, but I think I should eventually bend it. You can heat and bend these handles to fit down in your mold, although most people have a two-piece mold. But I'm used to living this way. My lungs can't take all that rubber dust, Dremel and all those seams. So if I got problems because I avoid that, at least there aren't health problems. Because I'm not sitting here wearing that respirator for everything. So, hi Pip. Yeah, he's talking, huh? You making monsters? He's happy today. Mr. Pip. And Jinkies. Got my kitties in the workshop. They know this bucket open and they stay away. Or they get told, go away. Not for kitties. I shouldn't really have them around it open at all, but it's a drafty house. And I gotta work. So too cold to put them on the porch. It's only 10 degrees out. Looks beautiful, but it's okay, what you're doing is just filling in anywhere to remove the air and bare plaster. This is a slush, and then we'll fill. I know it's exciting, but just showing you how I do things. So maybe I'll learn something when somebody comments that I'm wrong. That's okay, I can do it. You know, I'm just lazy, to be honest. There's a lot of things I don't make glamorous looking molds because I don't care. I'm too lazy to sit there and put the extra materials and time into making this thing a battleship that people will say, look how beautiful. It's the pieces that I want to be beautiful, and I'm ready to move on. And you know, these have to survive and be useful, but